cannot wait to listen to these Christian artists. I still listen to CDs. Get over it. What the hell is this? Christian music is going through some stuff right now. Gungor is apparently an atheist now, still runs a Christian podcast, and I don't listen to a ton of Christian radio, but have you noticed that there's a lot of unchurchy music coming from very churchy artists? Christians whose songs are either like angsty griping about how hard it is to be a Christian, or you know, they get political. And most of the artists that are doing this used to be straight up worship leaders and worship writers. So what's happening to Christian music? Okay, so first we gotta define what we're talking about. We're not talking about your generic Christian rock or Christian pop, where the point of writing that music is your overprotective mom will let you listen to it in the car. And if you're extremely lucky, you actually write good music. I love you, Relient K. Gotta get those sweet, sweet K-Love dollars. And this isn't like Christians who have found a spot in another genre or another scene. They want to talk about Jesus within that. God bless you, POD. Boom! Here comes the boom! Ready or not! No, this is worship music that is spawning a whole other... Artists like John Mark McMillan, Ike Ndolo, Gungor, Audrey Assad, Propaganda, they're like doing something. They're separating their worship music into two categories. I'm gonna call this devotional music and gospel living music, but only because liturgical and gospel are already taken. Devotional music is music that's meant for prayer and for teaching, especially in groups. Stuff that facilitates prayer, talks directly to or about God, used directly in a church service, or sometimes even in a Catholic mass. And it's way harder to fit music into a Catholic mass than it is to fit in another praise and worship service. It just is. It's a more specific kind of song. And these artists I mentioned mostly made their name writing this kind of music. Music that taught about God, music that inspired a sense of awe or inspired prayer, music that could be used to evangelize, music that lifted up the mind. So a person could say, this song had a big impact on my spiritual growth and taught me about God and actually helped me believe in Jesus. And some of those songs even became like big deals. Heaven meets earth like a kiss and my... But then these musicians started to give their songwriting a little bit of elbow room, and what came out was gospel living music. Gospel living music is music that presents the challenges and joys and struggles of living the gospel the way Jesus showed us to. So there are songs about spiritual struggle, which is totally my thing and why I started listening to this music. But then there's songs about how we need to be better toward the poor, about how Christians are called to heal the sick and visit the imprisoned, welcome the stranger, call for justice. Lots of stuff about racial justice. And they're writing entire albums about these sorts of things, and they're not mentioning Jesus a lot. So the fans start going, stop writing songs about politics and write more about Jesus. Now, bracketing misogyny and racism being a part of this, oh gosh. And for some of the people, that's clearly a part of what's happening. One of the things that they're saying is, I thought this was devotional music. I wanted to have my faith edified and learn how great it is to follow Jesus. This music doesn't help me believe in Jesus more, it tells me to do things. Like seriously, you haven't even said the word Jesus in like 15 minutes. How am I supposed to know if you even believe in God anymore? To which the artist would reply, we did that already. I have 3 whole albums teaching you about Jesus and edifying your faith. There are more things to do than to sit in a room and learn about these things the gospel calls us to do. We already know that you believe in Jesus. We already sang about that. Now what are you gonna do about it? Audrey Assad will explicitly tell you the difference between her songs in her liner notes. Right there under the title, she'll tell you the best way to use this song. Listening by yourself, devotional prayer, or liturgy. Different songs from the same person will have different purposes. This is especially true of the Christian rappers. I don't think it's possible to write a rap song for the liturgy. Like, I'm willing to be proved wrong, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Propaganda will write songs, basically all the other outlets available to him. Songs about God, songs critiquing bad Christianity, songs critiquing the world. And then he moved on to songs critiquing me. Ouch, man. And I remember thinking, where's Jesus on this album? It's like I have to search really hard for him, which is actually like a statement about like life, but you know. But Propaganda was already past that. He already knows Jesus. He anticipates that an awful lot of his audience already does as well. But do either of us know our suffering neighbor? Do either of us, care? That is what I mean by gospel living music. And music about gospel living has a very important role in the culture that we are all trying to create. It's ordinary time music. In a repeat of videos I have made before, support Christian artists. Support them by going to see their shows. Support them by purchasing music and art. Support them by letting them know you like it, and support them by going to their Patreons, like patreon.com/SteveTM. there's nothing else to say about that. I love when I get feedback from my Patreon patrons. I love that there's a community on there for people to enjoy once they join, and I love that if you join at a specific level, you become one of these producers of the show. The names that you see up here are people who believe in the show enough to become one of its producers, and that just fills me with joy and determination to make the best videos I can. So please support the Patreon, share this with all your friends and neighbors, and support Christian artists. Thank you. God bless.